Yeah, I'm digging these. These are nice. I'm glad I got them. These were originally a viewer requested shoe, the last one. Hello, my foam shoe friends. We got another one here. This is a bit of a follow-up video on the Merrell Next Gen Hydro Moc. I just did a review on it like a week or two ago, and that was on the last year's model. Well, I went and picked up this year's model, the Hydro Next Gen Moc 1TRL in white and black. When I was returning the other one, I noticed they had a sale going on the newer one, and the last one wasn't too bad, but I wanted to try out the newer one because it looked like it was a little wider in the toe box. So I figured I would use the money on the last one and put it towards the newer one. And they had a sale. It was only like $70 versus the $100 retail on these. So I figured it'd be a good opportunity to try them out, because I was half tempted to keep the last one, but I don't know. I was enticed by the newer one, so that kind of encouraged me to return that last one so I could try out the newer one, because I don't need two of these. All right, I got it in the 12s again. The 12s were a little snug on the previous ones, but these look like they were a little bit wider. So we'll check them out. And I don't have the other one to compare and contrast it to, so I'll just have to kind of go off of memory. But I still have the old Hydro Moc, which was very similar, so we can kind of use that as a point of reference for any sort of dimensional differences. So these, they do look a little wider in the toe box up here, so maybe they've got a little wider of a fit. We will find out. They look pretty much the same though as the others, minus the coloring and probably the dimensions. They do look a little wider, but everything else from memory kind of looks similar in terms of the organic aesthetics that they seem to want to put on every single shoe that they make. Is this kind of oblong oval, I don't know what to call it. It makes me think of the LG kind of a tip of the hat to the whole bloom thing that they've got going on. So I don't know a better way to describe it other than like somewhat like a grid, like an oval grid pattern, but it is very organic looking. So I'm not sure what more I'll have to say about these that I didn't say in the previous model, but nonetheless, we'll get a video out of it. Let me read the write-up on it real quick. I'll get the other one out, and I'll show a slideshow of these too. I don't know why I'm bothering to pull them out. At least they'll be ready for after the read. Raise this up because I usually do. All right, let me read the write-up and we'll do the slideshow while this is going. I don't think there's a huge write-up for these. All right, Men's Hydro Next Gen Moc 1TRL. I think the previous one was like the SE or the C model that I tried last time. All right, the details. It says, meet the Hydro Next Gen, the Hydro style you've come to love, plus the performance capabilities from the brand that makes the world's #1 hiking boot. Brings you the most capable Hydro Moc to date. Equipped with truly hands-free entry, max cushion, float max midsoles, and an improved heel shape combined for friction-free all-day comfort and style. Features water-friendly EVA foam upper for a lightweight, flexible fit and ease of cleaning. Bloom Performance Foam is made of algae biomass, transforming green water into clean water in the process. Float Max foam midsole for a soft and smooth underfoot experience. Rubber midsole for shock absorption and durability. Vegan friendly, and it says the weight, half pair weight is 12.16 ounces, 345 grams. That's extremely specific. and they've got good reviews. So the last model wasn't too bad. I wish they were a little bit bigger. So that's part of why I got these, because they looked like they were a little wider. So we'll see if they're any longer at all. But I'll probably end up keeping these. They do feel like they're a little softer, because I need something to replace the Hoka Primo for kind of the warmer temps. These have kind of been my go-to slip-ons after work and stuff, and just going around town. They're very comfortable and convenient. So these hopefully will kind of fit that bill. Something a little more comfortable. I like that they've got kind of a shoe sole to them, as opposed to just, that's one thing these have going on over like a Croc, for example, is they've actually got a nice chunky midsole to them with a little more comfort, a little more traction. So it's just kind of a notch up, I guess, in terms of like ergonomics and support for the foot, but still very casual and slip-on oriented. So we've got the little harder of a rubber outsole. I commented on the previous video. I had difficulty kind of cleaning these up, just the lint off of the floor, because it's almost like a dry, like cakey type rubber on the bottom, and it didn't really provide much traction on the flooring. But I guess it would work better like in like muddy conditions or something. Like it would probably create a little more of more traction, being able to dig in a little more. And I'm going to try not to repeat things that I had said in the previous video in this one, but there's kind of a positive and a negative variation within the tread. This is more of a larger positive area, and then this is kind of a negative area with these little nodules in it, so it's kind of reset a little bit, or inset a little bit. It's not as visual on this one as it is the other one, but there's kind of a figure eight thing happening here. So that's about it for the outsole. Looks like these are kind of spray painted almost. Here's like the paint line right here with this, I'm guessing it was this black over the entire thing, and they gave it kind of a dusting of this white paint, which is a very unique look. I haven't come across any sort of foam shoe that has this light paint effect over it. It's kind of cool. I'm digging it. And then we've got that kind of organic oval grid pattern on the top, and our fake strap here on the side. If you've ever owned a pair of the old Hydro Mocs, they actually have a strap that comes around back. Well, they've kind of integrated that strap within the design now, but they've still retained some of the remnants of it, you could say. The Float Max is the big foam midsole, which is pretty squishy. I can't really get a good shot at the ergonomics with the higher heel in the back, but the ergos are pretty relative to most of the Merrell like slides, and I'd say the ergos are a little better on these than the standard Hydro Moc. I think it helps having the midsole, that they can have a little more dynamic, a little more higher elevations and you know, dips and rises, so to speak, within the footbed, by having a little more of a thicker midsole that they can like dig into, in a sense. But that's about it. I don't want to spend too much time in hand. We'll throw these on foot, and I'll see if I can notice anything different between these and the last ones. One thing for sure is these are new. The last ones, the little sole sticker was kind of messed up, but I can tell by the placement of these sole stickers, these are brand new, they haven't been returned. But all right, enough rambling, let's throw them on foot. All right, we'll bring out the classic Hydro Mocs. You can tell that they've kind of changed the directional pattern of their oval grid. It's got kind of a curve to it on the newer one. And then compared to the standard Hydro Moc, these have a nice midsole and outsole to them, which was, see, this outsole, something with the texture in it. It really like grabs all these little lint balls and stuff. But anyways, focus. These look wider than the Hydro Mocs, but they're kind of a step up from the the old Hydro Moc. So if you like the Hydro Moc but you want more of a midsole to them, these are kind of a notch up above them. So I think that's all I needed to show with these. We'll put them back. Whoops. All right, I'll get these on foot. I'll leave the tags on for now in case for some reason they don't work. The sizing isn't good. But they mentioned hands-free step in. They do that pretty well. They just kind of slide in. Yeah, these do fit a little more wider and awesome. I got a little more space up in the toe box, and even on the toe. These are a lot more roomy, which is good because the other ones were almost a little too small. I still had space in the toes. See, with these, I've got like a good half inch. Yeah, good half inch there. The other ones, it was really close. It was maybe like a quarter of an inch. But these are a lot roomier in the toe box. So they might have a little more heel slide though, with them being a little roomier, but that's fine. I can deal with a little bit of a heel slide if I have more space in the toes. So the ergos are pretty good. They're very comfortable. There's nothing that stands out that's like a negative. It's got like a decent arch support to it. There's a little bit of a curl up, and all the Merrells do this. The toes tend to curl up a little bit. I'm noticing that, but that characteristic tends to flatten out as you walk in shoes. I've learned with other things, with other models and stuff. This one, and I don't recall if it had it on the last one, there's a little bit of a closed toe cap right here. I don't recall that being on the other one, but they've kind of filled in some of these holes on the end, which is nice to help kind of protect the toe. These are good. I'm kind of liking these so far. I'll probably end up keeping them. So let's walk in them a little bit. Let's see if there's any major flaws. Yeah, the sizing's almost perfect on these. There is a little more play, a little more wiggle in the heel ankle area, but like I said, I'd rather have that than having my toes kind of pressing up against the end. So I don't think I'd want to go down to an 11 in these, but they have changed the sizing. So if you've had a previous experience with the Next Gen Hydro Moc, these are sized differently than those, and I would say better. So one thing about Merrells is they've always been very narrow, the ones that I've tried on before. So not everybody has a narrow foot. So I think it's wise of them to add a little more width to them, a little more wiggle room. Because even if people's feet are still relatively narrow, like I think it's more comfortable to have a little extra width in them. That's one of the reasons I like Crocs so much, is they're a little wider. So, but yeah, I don't really have any negatives to say about these. That traction is still a little dry. It's not wanting to grab on to this flooring. There's a little bit of a heel rise, but it's kind of catching. I don't know if I can point it out. So it like dips in a little bit. It's hard to tell with the lighting, but like back here it dips in a little bit, so it kind of catches right here. There's a little bit of a play, but it like the ball of the heel kind of catches because of the way this like dips in back here. So it doesn't allow it to really slide up too much. It's just a very minimal slide. So I can see that being an issue wearing these barefoot, but I mean with socks on they're pretty comfortable. Like it's not a deal breaker at all. I don't see that play in the heel being too dramatic. So these are pretty good. These are positive. I'm gonna keep these, I'm pretty sure, unless something happens between now and the next 10 minutes, but I'm digging these. That powdered sugar look is different too. They're kind of cool. All right, let's get a little action footage and wrap this video up. All right. So yeah, I think they look pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and clip the tags on these. I plan on keeping these. These will be my summer shoe if I need something more substantial. It's got like a good midsole and outsole to them, but I still want something very casual, like slip on, you know. Yeah, these will be good. These will fill a niche, however that word's pronounced. No, these are good. These will be good walking shoes. They've got good flow, good airflow in the front and the top of the shoe. Like those last ones, for some reason, like my feet were getting a little warm in them. But these, like as I walk in them, I feel like the airflow coming in. So I don't know if the way they did those holes on the top is allowing for a little more airflow, or who knows. I might have just been wearing thicker socks that day too. But I'm not getting the stuffiness that I was getting with the other ones, which is an odd thing to experience when you're wearing a pair of shoes that is full of holes. But it could just be the foam. The foam tends to trap heat. But yeah, these are pretty good. I think I've said most of what I need to say about these. They're not much different than the previous ones, than last year's model, with the exception of the sizing, which I think is a major positive. Good on Merrell, going a little wider. I think they should do that with their slides too. They could go a little wider. So the fit's really good. I would still say to go up in size. Like with the previous models, I went up to a 12. And unless you want a little tighter of a fit, if you can't deal with any sort of a heel slide at all, then you might go down in size. The toe box is a little more roomy, so you might be able to get away with it. But I think going up is the more casual, comfortable way to go. So that would be my sizing recommendation, is to go up if you're on a half size. And I think you'll be okay with them. But yeah, I'm digging these. These are nice. I'm glad I got them. These were originally a viewer requested shoe, the last one that I did, the other Hydro Mocs. The black and the two-tone ones, the black and the white ones. And then those were okay, and I kind of, well, I won't go through the story, but these were essentially a viewer requested shoe. So tip of the hat to that viewer. Thanks for helping direct the channel. That's one I've been thinking about the other day. Is that like half the videos I've been doing lately have all been requests. So the viewers are helping form and mold this channel, which is kind of a cool interaction. A little creator-viewer exchange. But it's been a good thing. So with that in mind, feel free to leave a comment if you've got a shoe that you want reviewed, a foam shoe or a foam slide that you don't see that's already on the channel, that you would like to see on the channel. Feel free to leave a comment and a request, and I will try to fulfill that request as long as it's within my financial means at the time. And it's not a horrible request. Just kidding. I've had a couple requests that I kind of hem and haw at, but I'll usually still do the video, and then those shoes will end up getting like a lot of views. So I'm trying to stay open-minded as far as that goes, because it's kind of a gamble. You never know like what videos are going to do well and which ones aren't going to do well. I never know. Ones that I think are going to do well don't end up doing well, and vice versa. It's one reason I haven't been doing a whole lot of Crocs lately, is the other non-Croc brands have been doing a lot better with the views, so I've been trying to branch out to other brands. But I think Crocs has some more newer models coming out here soon that I'll probably try to check out. But in the meantime, we'll do other things like this one. But yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling now. We'll wrap this video up. These are pretty good. I recommend them. They're a little pricey, $100. Get them on sale. They're still on sale for like 70 bucks. So I think that's a solid steal or a solid price. So these are the, what was I wrote it down. These are the Hydro Next Gen Moc 1 TRL in white and black. Get them while they're on sale. All right, wrap this up. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I got a few that I'm going to try to bang out today. I got a few boxes. There's one of them I don't know what is, so that'll be a mystery unboxing. But yeah, more to come. Top 5 video coming soon too, so stay tuned. Thanks again. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.